Grandpa, what is it like?
What was what like, Sonny?
To experience a real video game.
It was truly something, let me tell you. And there was one that truly stood out among the rest. One that stood the test of time, and ever since, none have ever been quite the same.
What was it called?
It was called...
Anyways, mainline Transformers were the only way to enjoy the brand back in my childhood, before third-party companies stepped in, and recently, Hasbro dove into the past and created some new figures of the War for Cybertron games. Today we're going to take a look at a few and determine, are mainline Transformers any good? If you haven't already seen at your local retailers, War for Cybertron has been getting some love as of late, with new figures of these iconic designs trickling out as they release new waves. And it's great to see this series get some love, but I can't help but ask the question, why now? As of the making of this video, the Cybertron games are still hard to come by. If you're not running old hardware, you have to emulate it on your PC, so it's most certainly not for the new generation. I don't know, it baffles me, the mishandling of this series of games and Transformer games as a whole, because War for Cybertron and its sequel Fall of Cybertron are some of the best video games of all time. Adding that early 2000s edge and drama to the Transformers is a perfect fit. It wasn't the first to do so, I mean like Transformers Armada, Cybertron, Energon, they were my bread and butter growing up and they did the same thing. The story was fantastic in War for Cybertron. I remember when I was younger getting lost in the world that High Moon Studios created. You get to play as both Autobots and Decepticons. When you're the Autobots, you truly feel like you're on the losing side and struggling against a truly evil nemesis. Prime. And when you're the Decepticons, it's a pure power trip. Do I even need to mention how satisfying it is to transform?
My scans indicate
I could do this all day. The designs are detailed without losing their identity. One of my favorite redesigns was the Seekers, shown off in all of its glory in the mission, where you get a glimpse of just how vast the world of Cybertron is. When you fly underneath the planet as Starscream and his team, the developers just hand you the keys and say,
"Go ahead, snoop around."
the freedom that mission gives you makes it a true standout and stuck with me to this day. With that being one of my favorite missions in the game, it's only fitting that today we take a look at the Seekers from Hasbro and Takara. Yes, we have Starscream, but we also have Grape and Blue Raspberry. We have the standard packaging for mainline figures with a glimpse of the figure here. Let's get it out of the box and take a closer look. Getting it out of the box here, I'm actually impressed. And then I looked closer. This figure is hollow. I'm guessing to cut costs under the disguise of being eco-friendly. You're not fooling anyone, you're charging more for less plastic. Side tangent aside here, it truly does look great. Even the back, oh my goodness! Which is a huge plus because due to the nature of the game being a third-person shooter, this is what you see for most of the game. The paint here is minimal, not showing off that rustic, distressed look seen in the games, but I have to keep in mind that this isn't a masterpiece style figure. But what I will give it is the purple bits here represent the energon flowing through its body is masterfully done. Due to its more angular design, when the light hits it just right, it adds such depth, which I love. Included is two accessories, a wonderful recreation of two weapons from the game, the sniper and the energon mace, which look great. Now let's get into it. The posability. We have a toe bend that's way too loose, an ankle pivot, a bend at the knee, can go back that far and can come forward this far, a hinge and swivel at the upper leg, waist swivel, rotation at the shoulder, a double jointed bend at the elbow, swivel at the wrist, and the head is on a ball joint. For a mainline lower end figure, the posability is stellar. For the most part. Like I said before, that toe bend is way too loose and folds back in without me even noticing constantly. And the mace is just too heavy, it flops over. And if you're curious if it's just a tolerance issue with this figure, I assure you, The issue affects all flavors. Let's talk about the others for a second here. The paint jobs aren't as game accurate, but they get the point across. The colors weren't this bright. They should be much more dull and less neon. Their maces are the same, but their guns are different, and again are great recreations from the games. Skywarp having a rocket launcher and Thundercracker having an assault rifle, which I believe is accurate to that mission in-game, which is some highly appreciated attention to detail. Props to Hasbro and Takara for that one. I always played Thundercracker in that mission. He was always my favorite throughout all of Transformers. I was very much a child of the mindset of blue. Blue, I like blue! But in the game, it was more than that. Starscream was a scheming leader, Skywarp, the mindless brute, and Thundercracker was the real brains of the operation. Wise beyond his years, unlike other incarnations of the character.
Fun while it lasted, little feller, but now the party's over!
Huh. I guess I never realized the three of these together look like the E-Series robots of Sonic Adventure fame. These three, regardless of their flaws, look great, even more so together as a whole team. But what if I told you it can get better? I thought the robot mode was great, but the jet mode honestly blows me away. Now, of course, like I said before, it's not a masterpiece figure, so the details aren't going to be exact, that rear end being the most offensive of them all. I mean, come on, just one panel to recreate this would have made this perfect. But I digress. Other than that, this is a perfect recreation of that jet mode. The transformation to get here, though, was a little nerve-wracking. Be gentle while you're transitioning this thing from robot mode to jet, because the plastic does feel a little thin, and like it could break if you're not careful. It's a solid jet mode, very swooshable as well. While some of the articulation in the robot mode can be a little irritating, this mode holds together very well. The only thing that's a little jank is the weapon storage. They just plug into the top. I wish it was better, but I'm glad it's there. Here he is with the rest of the Seekers, and the trio looks amazing altogether. Oh, by the way, I forgot one step in the transformation. Don't come to me for instructions, I guess. But do they earn my seal of approval? I picked these up on a Black Friday sale, and at the price I paid for them, absolutely. Hands down a must-have, and a no-brainer for any War for Cybertron superfan. But for retail, these go for up to $45. That makes the decision a little harder to make. Might as well go out there and buy the game for that price. I just feel like there isn't a whole lot of value here. It sounds like I'm gonna give these a bad score, but with all being said, I still give the Seekers as a whole a 7 out of 10. If you're a fan of that classic video game, and you're a complete psychopath like me, then these might just be for you. Might be the only ones for you. It wouldn't be fair to judge Mainline as a whole just based off one mold though. So here we have Megatron, and here is where things get interesting. Most of my complaints about the other figures are whisked away. Between the sculpt and the paint, it's better in almost every way. Almost. Remember how important I said the back of these figures are and just how good the Seekers pulled it off? The same can't be said for Megatron. The back is horrendous. Like honestly, they didn't even try. But back to the positives, the paintwork here is fantastic. This one features some decent weathering effects, and those purple energon bits are just perfection. The sculpt itself is spot on, and is the same class as the other figures, but somehow feels a bit more solid. If it wasn't for that previously mentioned back, I'd be convinced this figure couldn't even transform. They perfectly translated that in-game design into a slim and mean looking figure. For accessories, the trend continues with one melee and one firearm. His arm cannon, which looks a little bit pathetic, as well as his energon mace, and thankfully his joints are a bit more sturdy and can handle the weight of it. Speaking of joints, we have a hinge and swivel at the ankle, a toe bend, a very, very limited soft ratcheting bend at the knee, good swivel though, a forward, back and side to side at the upper leg, waist swivel, full 360 and hinge at the shoulder, along with double jointed elbows, a sturdy and strong swivel at the wrist, and the head is on a ball joint. Other than that pitiful knee bend, I think this one is an incredible and fun figure. There's a lot of detail here, and is a lot more fun to handle than the Seekers. But how does the transformation hold up? I'm happy to say the transformation is fun, simple, memorable, and most of all, I don't feel like I'm gonna break it. It's not a bad vehicle mode at all, and takes me right back to driving through Cybertron, blasting away at those Autobot fools, harnessing the power of Dark Energon and re-establishing order, returning Cybertron to its former glory.
Stop running, you fools! Stand and jump!
Oh, I guess I should give it this one a rating. Megatron here gets a solid 8 out of 10. Honestly, all that's wrong are my 2 notes about that knee and that back. Transformers War for Cybertron. It's a game that just couldn't be made today as hard as anyone would like to try, which they're definitely not even trying at all. Hasbro and Takara have made a decent attempt at giving that game some sweet, sweet justice with these figures. And before you ask yourself, are these worth buying? I need you to ask yourself one more, much more important question. Are you a hopeless man-child hooked on nostalgia just to bring some scrap of happiness to your life? Just one more.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle, destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, robots in disguise.
Attack the Autobot commander! Call in a Decepticon leader!
Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Transformers from Hasbro.